Hello, hello, hello. Are you ready for a writing lesson for today? We are going to not be adding on to the end yet. So if you wrote the end last week, that was not the direction. So we are going back to the beginning and middle today, and we're going to be seeing if we can add in some dialogue. So what I want to do today is I want to watch a quick video lesson on dialogue, what that looks like, and then we're going to go in and see if we can find a good place to add some dialogue into my personal narrative. And then we're going to take a look at Gavin, who already attempted to add some dialogue, and give him some feedback on that. All right, so let's take a look at our video lesson.
Dialogue to your writing. What is dialogue, you ask? Dialogue is what is actually being said in a story. Depending on the type of story you are writing, just about anything can participate in dialogue. Now, using the word said is a dead giveaway for showing dialogue in your writing. However, if you only use the word said, well, your writing won't be all that interesting.
Boring.
Check out some of these awesome alternatives. Adding dialogue into your writing is important, so you might as well have it add some feeling.
So instead of saying she said in my writing today, maybe I could find one that would work really well. Maybe I could say something like shouted, because I'm going to be running away from a big bird, or shrieked. Those are good. Exclaimed, if I'm excited. Screamed. Those are all good. So I'm going to keep those right here as good ideas instead of said. Said's kind of boring. If you use said, you know what that tells me? Probably that you didn't watch this video.
Here's an example of how adding dialogue can add some personality and voice to your writing. Check out this sentence. I called my dog Molly. While this may be true, it doesn't entertain my reader very well. Here's the same thing, only this time I'm adding dialogue. I hollered, "Come here, Molly." Adding dialogue into narrative pieces isn't difficult, but it has to be done right, or your writing will be difficult for your audience to read. You need to make sure that everything that is actually being said is in quotation marks. You need them at the beginning and at the end of the quote. Make sure that you have your punctuation inside your quotation marks. Also, you need to have the quote start with a capital letter. Here's another example. I screamed, "Run away!" as the giant gumball rolled towards us.
I do also want to point out that the tag, I call this the tag. I screamed, I said, I whispered. This is the tag letting you know it's about to start. There is a comma right there that separates the dialogue. So you say the tag, I screamed, comma, and then in quotation marks after that, what the dialogue is, what's actually being said. Okay? And then, Gavin, we're going to talk about that when we look at yours today as well.
Now it's story time. This is me. This is Molly. We love walking in the woods. We heard a noise coming from behind a rock. A great grrr came from behind the rock. Bear! Molly and I started to run away. The bear was right behind us. Molly, can you do something? I asked. Just when the bear was closing in, it looked like Molly had an idea. Molly turned and started to growl. The bear got scared and started to run away. Now that the bear was gone, I asked, "Are you ready to go home?" Molly knew exactly what I said. "You are such a good dog, Molly." The end.
So he had a very small moment story, just like you all are writing, where he and his dog were hiking in the woods and they came upon a bear. So this story, it happened very quickly, less than a minute, just like yours did. And I would say his strong feeling was that he was scared. So he had lots of dialogue in there. So let's see if we can go and find a place in mine where we could add some dialogue in correctly. All right, so just like you guys, I'm going back and I'm going to look at my beginning and middle to see if I can add in some dialogue. All right, so we've got one bright and sunny day last summer. I was walking up the Legacy Trail with my good friends Kelly and Sharon and my dog Jax. As we were walking across the bridge, we saw an awkward looking large baby bird sitting on the railing. I think right here would be a good place to add in some dialogue because I remember talking to my friends about the baby bird. So I think I might say, I looked at my friends, comma, and I don't want to say said. Maybe instead I could say, I exclaimed. I think that would be a good one. I exclaimed. Now that's going to be my dialogue tag. Do you remember what goes after the dialogue tag? You got to put a comma. And now I'm going to put my quotation mark to start what I said or exclaimed. I'm going to say, whoa, look at that bird. It's the weirdest looking bird I have ever seen. And now I'm done with my quote, what I said, so I'm going to put my quotation mark at the end. And now I am done with my dialogue there. I want to now look at Gavin's because Gavin had already tried to add in some dialogue. All right, so Gavin in his middle right here, he writes, I opened my eyes and saw an amazing present. It was a rock that turned into a gem. I was shocked that the Easter Bunny left me a rock that will turn into a gem. I said, wow, I have never seen something like this. I saw that it will turn into a green gem. So what he's done right here, he said, I said, and then he's used his quotation marks to show that he is speaking. He did leave out one thing. Can you guys see what it is? We're missing that comma to separate the dialogue tag from the actual dialogue. So instead, we would say, I said, comma, wow. And I put an exclamation point there after the wow because I feel like that's its own statement. Wow. I have never seen something like this. And that would end his quote there. Now, the only other feedback I might give is there's a lot of other words we could say in that tag instead of said. Since you are excited, maybe you might say, I exclaimed, I yelled, I shrieked, to show that you're excited, not just I said. So those are some good pointers there. All right, so Gavin, you can go back and make some changes to yours. Maybe you can find another place to add in some dialogue. The rest of you, go and see if you can find a place in your writing and add at least one piece of dialogue. If you find other pieces or places you could add dialogue, you can add more than one piece. But you want to make sure that you are doing it correctly. Okay? All right, take all the things that we have talked about today and see if you can go and add dialogue. Can't wait to see what you come up with. Work hard and make sure that you are trying your best to do a good job on your writing. All right, authors, go be awesome.